We're going to apply what we just talked about to some word problems, some real world situations. So we talked about before how parabolas model things that are being thrown because gravity is pulling down on objects, so they follow this parabolic path. So we have a thrown ball that follows this quadratic path. The vertex of the graph is 120, and the path of the ball includes that point. Well, obviously. What is an expression that defines this function? And write the quadratic equation in vertex form and in standard form. So we're going to start with vertex form because that's the one we did in the last video. So y equals a x minus h squared plus k. And we need to figure out what a is, h, and k. Now, we know h and k. They're right here. It's the vertex. So we know that y equals a x minus 1 squared plus 20. Remember, it's always opposite in the parentheses, so minus 1. All right, we still need to figure out a. So to do this, we're going to use another point that's on the graph. Now, they didn't tell us any in the paragraph, but if we look over here on the graph, it appears that the point 0, 4 is a point on the graph. So we'll use that. We're going to plug that in as our x and y. So we get y. No, that was not very good. I don't know what's wrong with my 4s today. Okay, so y equals, we don't know what a is. X is 0. We know h, and we know k. All right, here in parentheses, 0 minus 1 is negative 1, and negative 1 squared is just 1. So we get a plus 20. And I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides, and we get a is negative 16. So we come back over to this. Y equals negative 16, x minus 1 squared plus 20. So this is our answer in vertex form. Now, they also asked us to give the answer in standard form. I'm going to need to erase this so that I have room to write. I mentioned this in the last video, but the way we get from vertex to standard form is foiling, distributing, and combining like terms. So here we go. So we have this y equals negative 16, and then x minus 1 squared, which means x minus 1 times x minus 1, and then the plus 20. So what we're going to do is ignore the negative 16 for now. We're going to FOIL here. So we get x squared minus x plus 1. That plus 20 is outside. So that's negative 16, x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now we're going to distribute that negative 16. So we get negative 16x squared plus 32x minus 16 plus 20. And then the last step, we're just going to combine our like terms, which are the last two terms. So we get negative 16x squared plus 32x plus 4. So this is our equation in standard form. So anytime you want to move from vertex form to standard form, FOIL, distribute, combine like terms. All right, let's check out another one of these. This is a really similar problem. We have the height of a frisbee this time. We want the equation of the function both in vertex and in standard form. All right, so in vertex form, we have y equals a x minus h squared plus k. We are trying to find a, h, and k. We know h and k, it's the vertex, it's right here, h and k. So plug those in. X minus 2, remember it's always the opposite when you're in parentheses, and then plus 10. Now, we still don't know a. To find a, we are going to have to plug in another point. And they were so kind as to give us another point. Right there it is, xy. So we'll plug that in. So y is 4. We don't know what a is. X is 0. We know h, and we know k. All right, so here in parentheses, 0 minus 2, that's negative 2, and negative 2 squared is 4. So we have 4a plus 10. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and then divide by 4. So a turns out to be negative 3 halves. Okay, so now go back to this equation here in blue. I'm going to write it up here. Y equals negative 3 halves x minus 2 squared plus 10. That is our answer in vertex form. They also want the answer in standard form, so we can do that too. So we're going to FOIL x minus 2, x minus 2. All right, now sometimes I do a few steps in my head. If you can do that, that's totally fine. X times x is x squared. And then I'm going to get minus 2x minus 2x, will be minus 4x, and then plus 4. If you need to write all the steps out there, please go ahead and do that. I'm just a little short on space. All right, now I'm going to distribute that negative 3 halves. So we get negative 3 halves x squared plus, I think that's 6x minus 6 plus 10. And then just combine the like terms there at the end. So plus 4. So this is the equation in standard form. All right, the last video will tackle the last example there with some transformations.